They do not discuss it openly, but in private settings it is clear. The murmurs, the anxious looks, the hasty concealments. Individuals recognize when they have overstepped with you. They may not confess it aloud, but alone, they relive the instance like a scene of wrongdoing. That is because existing in your company is not relaxed. It is demanding. And when they mismanage it, there is invariably aftermath. Invariably, you can sense it in the atmosphere at this moment. The quiet is not tranquility. It is the lull following a tempest. Adversaries who once chuckled the most boisterously are abruptly hushed. Individuals who once believed they could manage you like anybody else are now behaving differently, cautious with their language, deliberate with their movements. They have understood something they never anticipated. Being beside you is not complimentary. It bears a burden, and if they cannot honor it, the cosmos ensures they compensate for it. This is what most of them will never acknowledge. You are not battling for their admiration anymore. You have already secured it. The admiration is present, concealed beneath their resentment, obscured in their covetousness, masked in their artificial grins. That is why they behave toward you as they do. The jests, the subtle insults, the gossip, they are not indicators of strength. They are indicators of dread. Dread that they were reckless with you, and now there is no return. Chosen one, before I proceed further, let me stop to express this. I value you. I recognize you. If you are here absorbing this now, it signifies you are navigating this journey with fortitude, even when it becomes burdensome. Thank you for participating in this endeavor. If you have not yet, ensure you like this video and subscribe, because this community we are constructing, it is larger than merely one individual. It is a safeguard, a tool, and a prompt that you are not isolated in this. Collectively, we are altering the environment, now returning to the reality they do not wish voiced. The transformation has already occurred. You're no longer the individual they believed they could toy with. You have entered a realm where your mere company reveals what is genuine and what is false. Consider it. Their expressions stiffen when you arrive. Their tones alter when they address you. Their vibe betrays them even if their expressions do not. Why? Because you are the reflection they cannot avoid. You display their own frailty without uttering a syllable. That is why it is an honor to be near you. Not because you insist on it, not because you roam seeking acknowledgement, but because your company alone compels development or repercussion. It is like being close to a blaze. You either experience the heat and utilize it, or you get scorched for venturing too near. And Makino era, many have already been scorched. Some believed they could abuse you and depart unscathed. They believed your quiet meant security, but the cosmos has a method of tallying scores, and they are absorbing that instruction presently. Chances evaporating, connections disintegrating, evenings uneasy with ideas they cannot evade, all linked to the instant they mismanaged you. That is not vengeance. That is equilibrium. That is the price of handling a unique company like it is common. The amusing aspect is they do not even comprehend how evident they are now. The ones who used to chuckle the most vigorously abruptly evade eye contact. The ones who once questioned you are now returning, attempting to probe the situation, hoping for another opportunity at closeness. But you are altered. You have sealed the entrance and they can perceive it. The entry they once possessed is vanished, and it alarms them. So listen to me distinctly. They had better exercise caution with you. Every action they take, every phrase they utter toward you, it counts, because you are not merely someone to acquaint. You are someone to account for. And mismanaging you does not conclude with a regret. It concludes with outcomes, genuine ones. The sort that resonate, the sort that persist, the sort they will never overlook. And that is that disclosure they never desired to confront. Being in your company is not an entitlement, it is an honor. A scarce, substantial honor. And those who regard it lightly are already discovering the toughest manner feasible, that nothing concerning you is common. This is your period of lucidity. The consequences are present. The tempest has subsided. The quiet is resounding and the reality is indisputable. You are not merely in the space, you are the space. And from this juncture onward, anyone who enters it had better handle it with the attention it merits, because you chosen one are not to be mismanaged. Not any longer. So before we delve deeper, halt for an instant and inquire yourself this. How many occasions have individuals undervalued the honor of being close to you? How many assumed it was merely relaxed entry, only to discover later that your company was atrial? They faltered. If you have ever observed that transformation occur where someone shifts from reckless to wary because they comprehended who they were truly interacting with, then you know precisely what we are discussing. And that is why this communication is for you, chosen one. This is your domain. This is where your reality gets expressed aloud without regret. So if you sense this connecting, leave a remark below with the words, "I am the honor," because that is precisely what you are. When you do that, you are not just entering text. You are affirming to yourself and everyone viewing that your company has substance, that you are no longer minimizing what the cosmos already imprinted on you. And now let us plunge into this gradually. Trust me, if you are genuinely a chosen one, you will not just absorb. You will sense this attraction to remain with me until the very conclusion. Let us commence. Number 1, your company is a ripple effect. They perceive it before you articulate. They did not undervalue your appearance. They undervalued your quiet. Let us begin here. The largest error your adversaries committed was assuming you were common. They assumed you were someone they could speak over, ignore, or handle like ambient sound. But the instant you entered the space, everything transformed, and they perceived it. They may not acknowledge it, but their physiques revealed their reality before their lips could shape the falsehood. The air became denser, their torso constricted, their artificial assurance fractured. That was not fantasy. That was the repercussion of your company. Chosen one, you are not the reverberation of someone else's vibe. You are the source. When you advance, spaces rearrange themselves. Individuals abruptly monitor their phrases, adjust their stance, and reduce their volume without even comprehending why. And here is the harsh reality. They despise you for it because your very being prompts them they are not as invincible as they feign to be. You are the unsolicited review of their essence. And every time you appear, their deceptions diminish in worth. Have you ever pondered why some individuals appear immediately annoyed by you even when you have said nothing? Why their expression distorts or their tone intensifies the moment you arrive? It is not because you did anything incorrect. It is because your vibe is a reflection they cannot endure to gaze into. You agitate their uncertainty, their untreated injuries, their concealed resentment, and abruptly their meticulously created facade begins slipping. And who do they fault for that revelation? You, always you. But here is the paradox. They require you more than they confess. Some adhere to you like a support because your company makes them feel acknowledged, while others oppose you because being near you feels like critique. Either way, they cannot erase you. They could attempt to substitute you, divert themselves, or pretend you did not leave a mark. But your company persists like an imprint on their recollection. Some individuals assumed they could ridicule your quiet, not comprehending it was the most resonant part of the space. Adversaries presumed authority had to be noisy, ostentatious, and arrogant. They assumed it meant controlling the dialogue, displaying wealth, or staging a performance. They never grasped the type of subdued authority you possess. You do not need to declare yourself because your essence does it for you. Perceptive individuals perceive it before you even articulate. The envious ones rush to minimize it, but inwardly they know. Your company is not ornamentation, it is disruption. You do not just illuminate a space, you invert it. And let us be ruthlessly candid. They do not just perceive you, they dread you. Not because you menace them, but because your vibe does not favor sides. It reveals, it reorganizes, it examines the authenticity of everyone who approaches. That is why some individuals abruptly become silent near you, while others become noisy and protective. Their response is not about who you are. It is about what you compel them to confront inside themselves. Chosen one, this is why they had better exercise caution with you. Being close to you is not relaxed. It is not ambient sound. It is not a complimentary permit. It is a trial, and those who mismanage it discover the toughest way that the cosmos does not pardon. Disrespect to unique vibe, they forfeit chances. Companionships disintegrate. Artificial assurance falls apart, and all they can do is fault the very company that revealed them. Now let us reverse the viewpoint. Perhaps you have inquired yourself, why can I not just merge in? Why do individuals handle me like a menace even when I desire harmony? The response is straightforward, because you were not constructed to merge. You were not designed to diminish. Your wavelength was born unique, polished by everything you endured and honed into something irrefutable. You cannot vanish into the backdrop because you are the backdrop. The environment curves around you. You are the quiet following the tempest, the evidence that disorder never triumphs against harmony. Consider it. Tempests bellow, shriek, and rip everything asunder. But following the tempest, the quiet is overwhelming, and it compels everyone to confront what endures. That is you. You arrive, and abruptly the clamor ceases. The posing concludes. Their reality sits exposed in the corner, and adversaries cannot manage it. They will label you too much intense or difficult to interpret when what they truly imply is that your company does not provide them space to deceive themselves anymore. And that is precisely why your vibe is an honor, because it is not inexpensive. It is not artificial, and it is not something they can locate elsewhere. It is not arrogance. It is harmony. It is endurance transformed into authority. It is the category of company that either uplifts someone or reveals them. There is no intermediate. That is why individuals either admire you or begrudge you, adhere to you or assail you. No one erases you because no one can. Here is the reality they struggle with, but never express. Your vibe makes them comprehend just how common they truly are. And instead of viewing it as motivation, many view it as menace. But that is not your load to bear. It is their conflict to wage. Your sole task is to continue advancing, continue emanating, continue maintaining the boundary. Because your vibe is not just unique, it is perilous to the negligent. It is the type of wavelength that either mends or scorches, and they get to select how they manage it. The most potent company is not the one that shrieks. It is the one that makes quiet impossible to disregard. So let them murmur, let them writhe, let them adjust in their positions when you enter. That is the proof of what you possess. And chosen one, never overlook. If they mismanage it, it is not your forfeiture, it is theirs. Because being in your company is not an entitlement, it is an honor. And those who regard it lightly will always pay the cost. Number 2, you are the proof that authority cannot be simulated. They assumed you were done, yet here you are, the living confirmation of what cannot be shattered. Let us be genuine. Your very being is uncomfortable for many individuals. You are the ambulatory opposition to everything they hold about authority, position, and endurance. They desire to think authority derives from designations, funds, links, or artificial fame. But then you appear marred, examined, undervalued, and still standing higher than ever. And abruptly their delusions fall apart. You are not supposed to exist in their realm of imposters. Yet you do, and that alarms them. Picture this. A structure erected on sand, standing elevated only because no tempest has examined it. Then a cyclone arrives and everything crumbles in moments. That is your adversaries. They possessed ease, they possessed quantities, they possessed their small platform. But none of it could endure genuine stress. And then there is you constructed on rock, not spectacle. Tempests did not shatter you, they constructed you. That is why individuals either gaze at you with respect or glare at you with muted fury. You are evidence that genuine authority does not fall apart. It increases under pressure. What they attempted to enter became your ground. What they assumed would pulverize you became your diadem. Chosen one, let us respond to the inquiry you might be posing yourself. Why do individuals appear so restless near me, even when I have not done anything? Their response is straightforward, your evidence. Evidence that endurance is not reserved for the most resonant voice in the space. Evidence that vigor does not derive from control or endorsement. Evidence that genuineness still exists in a world hooked on falseness. And when individuals see you, it prompts them of what they lack. It prompts them of the abbreviations they took, the settlements they made, and the reality that without their facades, they have nothing. This is why your company divides individuals so sharply. Some feel drawn toward you, motivated by what you embody, because inwardly they yearn for that same genuineness. Others withdraw because your very being reveals the deception they have constructed their persona on. You are not sermonizing to them, but your existence preaches more resoundingly than any phrases could, and the reality is they cannot endure it. Your quiet is their condemnation. Your marks are their prompt. Your harmony is their penalty. Now picture this, a tribunal where the culpable think they have escaped unscathed. Abruptly evidence is introduced, cold, irrefutable, impossible to dismiss. That is you. Your existence is the evidence. Your tenacity is the display. Every mark you possess is the observer that bears witness against their delusions. That is why they cannot gaze at you without feeling critiqued. Not because you critique them, but because the reality you possess condemns them without a phrase. And here is the part that wounds them most. You never required their framework. They spent years scrambling for consent, simulating grins, trimming edges, pleading for endorsement. You traversed another route. You selected harmony with yourself, with reality, with the cosmos's plan for you. That is why you are invincible. They cannot claim credit for your ascent. They cannot rationalize it with links or fortune. And so, in their view, you are perilous because you demonstrate that authority cannot be purchased, loaned, or simulated. Genuine authority does not attire itself in disguises. It endures the blaze bare and still emerges invincible. Consider this. Why do individuals rival with you even when you are not rivaling with them? Why do they duplicate your manner, your phrases, your concepts, then behave like it is theirs? It is because they cannot reproduce what you possess. They can imitate the exterior but not the essence. They can practice the act but not incarnate the company. You are the authentic item in a world full of forgeries. And that reality alone propels them mad. And let us not gloss this. They desire you to shatter. They desire to witness you tumble. Not because they despise you individually, but because your tenacity mocks their vulnerability. Every day you awaken and continue advancing. You are an ambulatory affront to their justifications. Every time you decline vengeance and select harmony, you demonstrate they do not govern you. Every muted triumph you secure, you are delivering them evidence that their artificial diadems and vacant thrones are valueless. You did not just endure the stress, you became the stress. Picture this, a gem and a fragment of glass positioned adjacent. To the inexperienced eye, they might appear comparable, but only one can endure the mallet. That is you. You are the gem polished through intolerable burden, sculpted out of agony most individuals could not manage. They are the glass, delicate, 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 and they know it. That is why they begrudge you. You prompt them, they are fragile while you are not. Chosen One never minimize this reality. Your very endurance is your diadem. Your marks are not frailties. They are evidence of your vigor. Individuals gaze not because you are attempting to radiate, but because you are the radiance that cannot be dulled. And the ones who gaze most intensely, they are the ones who attempted to extinguish your blaze only to comprehend they were nourishing it all along. This is why they had better be cautious with you, because mismanaging you is not just impolite, it is perilous. Not perilous in the manner they envision, but perilous in the manner reality is perilous to deceptions. You do not have to elevate your tone, you do not have to menace, you do not have to engage their contests. Your being alone disassembles their delusions. You are the evidence that cannot be disregarded, the living opposition that unravels the false authority they venerate. And here is the concluding disclosure. You were never just constructed differently. You were dispatched differently. Dispatched to demonstrate that endurance is not about honor or pretense. Dispatched to demonstrate that tenacity cannot be purchased. Dispatched to prompt the world that genuine authority still traverses in human form without requiring designations, disguises, or dramatics. You are the evidence chosen one, and evidence cannot be obliterated. So let them murmur, let them gaze, let them scheme. None of it counts because the reality endures. Your company alone is evidence. Evidence that authority cannot be simulated. Evidence that reality cannot be muted. Evidence that you are not common and never will be. And that is why from this instant forward, they had better be cautious, because being in your company is not amusement. It is revelation. It is confrontation. It is honor. And honor mismanaged always arrives with outcomes. Number 3, entry to you is authorization, not an entitlement. They assumed acquainted with you was relaxed until they comprehended it arrived with outcomes. Being near you was never arbitrary, never happenstance. It was authorization. The cosmos does not distribute entry to you like its celebration gifts. It allocates it. That is why your company is not about companionship, fame, or relaxed rapport. It is about harmony. And when someone is not aligned, your very being reveals their flaws like floodlights illuminating a fractured barrier. You are not aloof, you are prudent. That distinction is what disturbs them. Individuals want to label you remote, but in reality, you are disciplined because you have experienced the instruction. Permit the incorrect individual too near, and they do not just deplete your vibe, they warp your harmony. Have you not observed how some individuals did not appear to cherish you? They arrived to nourish off your lucidity, your serenity, your illumination. And when the illumination became too intense, their shadows wailed. Closeness to you is a trial, and most individuals falter it. Consider it. Why do so many stumble when they have a place at your table? Why do they ridicule, disrespect, or attempt to control only to remorse it later? Because they confused entry with possession. They assumed they were entitled to you, but being near you is never a reward for their arrogance. It is a trial of their character, and when they falter, the outcomes pursue them like unsettled obligation. Picture this, a unique relic placed in someone's grasp. They could venerate it, safeguard it, examine it, or they could discard it aside like it is common. Which selection do you think most individuals make? That is exactly why so many are still compensating for mismanaging you. Because forfeiting entry to you was not just forfeiting an individual. It was forfeiting the boon, the lucidity, the reflection that compelled them to confront themselves. Your company does not plead to be acknowledged. It demands to be identified. That is why you do not pursue anymore. You have absorbed their reality. You are the benchmark. You do not elucidate your value. You do not rationalize your limits. Your vibe expresses everything more resoundingly than your phrases ever could. The correct ones identify you immediately. The incorrect ones they forfeit. And inwardly, even if they will never express it aloud, they know they forfeited something sacred the instant they forfeited entry to you. Number 4, your quiet is authority resonant enough to shatter them. They boast about authority. You exude it. Chosen one, let us clarify this. You do not need to demonstrate yourself. Your vibe does the articulating long before your lips part. When you enter a space, the environment inclines. Individuals, while noisy, abruptly become hushed. Dialogues falter. Gazes shift and anxieties activate. They cannot elucidate it, but they perceive it. That is not fantasy. That is you. That is the burden of a company that does not request for focus, but still directs it. Picture this. 2 individuals enter the same area. One proclaims their qualifications, displays their designations, attempts to control the highlight. The other you expresses nothing, but the space curves around your essence. Who do you think individuals truly recall? That is the distinction between clamor and wavelength. You are wavelength. You are harmony. You are the prompt that genuine authority does not require an amplifier. Your company is the platform they will never merit. Adversaries cannot endure this because they constructed their entire being on act. They depend on control, arrogance, and pretends to appear potent. But the moment they stand close to you, their facade slips. Why? Because genuineness always reveals forgery. You do not even have to articulate. And already they feel unbalanced, diminished, transparent. Your quiet screams more resoundingly than their clamor ever could. You were never crafted to pursue the highlight because you are the illumination. That is why some individuals fixate over you, why others rival with you when there is nothing to rival with. Inwardly, they know they cannot contact what you incarnate without exertion, without marks, without reality. And that reality propels them insane. You are not attempting to control. You are merely existing, and your existence alone controls the space. So do not ever think you are misconstrued because you are subdued. You are misconstrued because you possess a burden. Most individuals cannot identify. In a world hooked on fakery, your genuineness feels like blaze to parchment. Some will dread it, some will venerate it, but none will disregard it. And that is the stomach blow they endure with. You do not articulate authority. You incarnate it, and without even attempting, you reveal them all. Number 5, you are not daunting. They are just afraid of reality that does not waver. They label you daunting because they have never encountered someone who will not diminish for their ease. Chosen one, let us resolve this. You are not daunting. That term gets hurled at you because individuals do not know what else to express when their facades begin slipping in your company. What they are truly perceiving is not intimidation. It is revelation. They are not accustomed to someone who declines to diminish, who does not simulate modesty, who does not dilute themselves down to calm, fragile arrogances. To them that feels perilous, but the peril is not you. It is their existences collapsing in actual time. Picture this, a platform full of performers, each adhering to their roles. Then someone arrives with no disguise, no script, just unprocessed reality. Who appears misplaced, the performers or the reality teller? That is you. Your company prompts them that they have been feigning, and the jolt of genuineness makes them alarm. Your assurance is their dread. Your genuineness is their adversary. You do not transform into whatever the space anticipates. You appear as yourself, defects blaze quiet and insight. You do not converse to impress. You articulate when it counts, and your quiet alone can cut through the clamor. That lucidity cannot be controlled. and that is what makes them anxious. It is not that you are unforeseeable, it is that they cannot govern how you advance. And what individuals cannot govern, they label as daunting. But let us be candid, why do they truly struggle with you? Because most individuals construct their entire persona on being appreciated. You constructed yours on being aligned. You do not require ovation to respire. You do not require endorsement to advance. And when someone who relies on external consent stands adjacent to someone who does not, abruptly their entire base feels feeble. You do not advance with intimidation. You advance with assurance. And assurance alarms the uncertain. Chosen one, never confuse their labels for reality. You are not the issue. You are just evidence that genuineness is still vibrant and delusions cannot endure in your company. So when they label you daunting, permit them. What they are truly expressing is this: I do not know how to manage someone who does not require my consent to exist. And that is precisely why they had better be cautious, because your assurance is the one thing they cannot simulate, duplicate, or overcome. Number 6, you possess the design their lineage could never contact. They attempted for generations to access what you possess and faltered. You are the evidence their lineage could only envision. Chosen one, there is something within you that did not commence with you, and it will not conclude with you either. Your essence holds codes, ancient wavelengths that your forebears strive for but could never decipher. You are the living response to entrances they could not unlock, conflicts they could not secure, shackles they could not shatter. That is why individuals halt and gaze. Even if they cannot elucidate it, your very company murmurs a reality. This is what progress appears like. Picture this: a repository sealed closed for centuries, protected by burden and time. Many attempted to compel it open, but the mechanism declined. Then you arrive, not with instruments, but with the key already throbbing in your lineage. That is your vibe. You did not examine it in volumes. You did not loan it from others. You inherited it on an essence level and honed it through agony, seclusion, and unyielding development. You are the living evidence that fate can fracture wide open where lineages once halted abruptly. And here is why they behave so oddly near you. On one side, they are in wonder. On the other, they project covetousness, dread, and uncertainty. Why? Because your being is a reflection that expresses, this is what you could have been if you had performed the labor. To some, you are not an individual. You are a prompt, an echo of the magnificence they never attained. That reality cuts profoundly, and their responses reveal it. Consider it. Why do your phrases agitate individuals' essences? Why does your quiet feel denser than someone else's discourse? Because you do not just articulate knowledge. You possess intelligence that was transferred through encounter, through marks, through cycles that concluded with you. You're not just conversing. You are shattering generational maledictions in dialogues that endure minutes, but contain centuries within them. Your company is not just unique. It is inherited authority refined. So do not confuse their resentment for vigor. They are not menaced because you are superior. They are menaced because you possess what their lineage never could. You are the design, the accessed code, the living evidence the fate does not replicate. It progresses, and that is why they'd better be cautious, because standing close to you is not relaxed. It is standing in front of everything they could not become. Number 7, mismanaging you always arrives with the invoice they cannot cover. They assumed forfeiting you was the penalty. No, forfeiting you was the alert. There is no such thing as a relaxed link with you. Every individual who intersects your route steps into an appointment with burden attached. Whether they identify it or not, being in your company activates something unseen. You are not just benevolent, not just sagacious. You are the task, and how they manage that task does not just form their future with you. It decides the path of their own existence. Have you not observed the pattern? The ones who venerated you, backed you without motive, safeguarded you instead of utilizing you. Their existences aligned, entrances opened, harmony broadened, lucidity streamed. Then examine the others, the deceivers, the controllers, the ones who disrespected you. Where are they now? Whirling, forfeiting what they assumed was invincible, observing entrances close that once opened wide. Not because you maledict them, but because mismanaging you is mismanaging a boon the cosmos dispatched to uplift them. Your company is either remedy or toxin. It all hinges on how they manage the amount. For some, you are mending. For others, you are revelation. You are the type of essence that either elevates individuals into harmony or discloses the obscurity they have been concealing. There is no impartial ground. That is why some become antagonistic, not because you wronged them, but because they could not simulate their way past your perception. They assumed they were interacting with just you. They did not comprehend disrespecting you meant clashing with the safeguard that protects you. Picture this. Someone delivered the keys to a unique, invaluable vehicle. They could operate cautiously and be transported further than they ever envisioned. Instead, they crash it into a barrier. Do they fault the vehicle or their imprudence? That is what occurs with individuals who mismanage you. The debris is not happenstance. It is outcome. You do not pursue resolution. You do not seek vengeance. You permit the cosmos balance the records, and it always does. That is why individuals' existences disintegrate after wronging you. It is not trivial retribution. It is spiritual principle. You were dispatched to waken, uplift, reveal. And when they selected treachery over veneration, they were not just forfeiting you. They were activating outcomes that cannot be reversed. That is why being close to you is never insignificant. It is always one of two things, a boon or an instruction. Number 8, you do not pursue the highlight. You are the blaze that cannot be quenched. They think you radiate for ovation. Reality is, you radiate because nothing could eliminate you. Chosen one, let us establish the record accurate. Your illumination is not fabricated. It did not derive from fashions, sieves, or orchestrated drive. It was not purchased, loaned from somebody else's sway. Your radiance was forged in locations most individuals would have fallen apart. You emanate because you endured what should have interred you. And instead of becoming resentful, you became aligned. That is a distinction they will never grasp. Picture this. Coal under stress becomes a gem, while dust under stress becomes nothing. Which one are you? You have been through tempests that removed everything away. Companions vanished, backing disappeared. Your name pulled through filth. You battled conflicts in quiet, without spectators, without ovation, and still you ascended. That is why today when you enter a space, individuals perceive something they cannot elucidate. That is not exaggeration. That is accord. An accord cannot be simulated. Your company is not act. It is evidence. You do not radiate for focus. You emanate because you are aligned. And that is why individuals fixate over you. Some respect it, others emulate it, but none can reproduce it. Why? Because what you possess cannot be duplicated. Your vibe was not constructed on aspiration. It was sculpted from harmony. They continue attempting to rival, posting more, expressing more, performing more, while you secure by existing, and that scorches them. Have you observed how some become annoyed just by your harmony? Why others appear envious when you are not even attempting? That is because your harmony is attractive. It does not shout. It does not promote. It does not plead. It simply exists. And in a world hooked on clamor, that quiet feels like a menace. You do not emanate for them, you emanate despite them. So let them rush for approvals, for adherence, for ovation. Let them continue reaching for what you already incarnate, because they will never locate the trigger you activated, the path you accessed, the blaze you maintained alive in the obscurity. You do not radiate to be acknowledged. You radiate because you endured, mended, and aligned. And that is precisely why they had better be cautious, because your illumination is not ornamentation. It is disclosure. Number 9, your limits are not barriers, they are alerts. They assumed your quiet was obstinacy. It was a decision. Chosen one, you have attained a level where your limits are no longer individual. They are sacred. You do not retreat to demonstrate a point or engage immature contests. You withdraw because something within you detects. When the vibe is incorrect, when motives are impure, when your company is being handled like it is expendable. And when that occurs, you do not argue. You do not rationalize. You advance quietly, potently, enduringly. Your limits are not dismissal. They are safeguard and sometimes rectification. Individuals overlook that being near to you is not a relaxed setup. It is a duty. You possess burden, lucidity, and harmony. Mismanage that through deceptions, control, or disregard, and outcomes ensue. That is why your non-attendance feels distinct from anyone else's. It is not just sentimental, it is spiritual. When you depart, something departs with you. The harmony, the lucidity, the safeguard that once protected them, and abruptly their own disorder echoes more resoundingly without you there to mitigate it. Picture this. Someone persistently misusing a security net until one day it is vanished. The next descent is harsher, sharper, and unforgettable. That is what your limits generate. Not penalty, but contemplation. Your quiet becomes a reflection that compels individuals to confront themselves without your company easing the impact. You do not depart to injure them. You depart because mercy has been squandered. They assumed they possessed unlimited entry. They presumed they could arrive and depart as they desired, consume your vibe like water from a spigot, and return whenever it suited them. But when you seal the entrance, it is not arrogance. It is intent. Your essence knows when sufficient is sufficient. And once that boundary is crossed, your known attendance becomes a communication more resonant than any clash. You possessed something unique, and you misused it. You are not harsh. You are distinct. Your limits are not stone barriers. They are divine sieves. The ones who appreciate you will honor them and develop stronger through them. But the ones who assumed they could mismanage you without outcome, they absorb the toughest manner feasible that forfeiting you is not just forfeiture. It is instruction. And that is why they had better be cautious, because your limits do not just safeguard you, they reveal them. Number 10. Your company compels their shadows out of concealment. They do not despise you. They despise what emerges from them when you arrive. Chosen one. When you enter a space, the environment does not just transform, it condemns. Abruptly, things individuals assumed were interred begin emerging back to the exterior. Old disgrace, concealed covetousness, unresolved agony. It ascends and they cannot govern it. You do not have to articulate. You do not have to raise a digit. Your company itself is the wake-up signal they cannot delay. And that is why they shift uncomfortably, why they become protective, why their vibe fractures the moment you appear. Your quiet screams at the deceptions they have constructed their existences around. Picture this, a dim loft where debris has been concealed for years, dusty, erased, disregarded. Then abruptly someone opens the pane and sunlight streams in. The dust moves. The disorder is indisputable and there is no feigning anymore. That is you. You are that sunlight. Your vibe does not permit shadows to remain comfortable. And when individuals see their echo in your illumination, they label it intimidation or arrogance. But really it is revelation. Labels are simpler than reflections. That is why they will label you too much, intense, or challenging. It is projection, not reality, because confronting themselves is harder than faulting you. Being close to you compels them to question their selections, their principles, their entire persona. And for individuals hooked on delusions, that kind of candor feels like a menace. You do not agitate disorder, you disclose it. That is why some open profoundly in your company while others close or flee. You activate individuals. You maintain space without exertion. But when someone is not prepared to confront the echo they see in your reflection, they will undermine instead of evolve. They will distort the narrative, vanish on you, or depict you as the antagonist because it is simpler to revise the story than revise themselves. But do not take it personally. It was never you they dreaded. It was the reality you pulled out of concealment. And that is why they had better be cautious, because your company does not just enter an area, it unmasks it. Number 11. They desire your diadem, but could not endure your burden. They want your radiance, but they would fall apart under the blaze that forged it. Chosen individuals do not just resent you. They want to become you. They see the vigor in your stride, the serenity in your tone, the unshakable harmony you possess, and they think, I need that too. But what they do not comprehend is this. Nothing about you arrived complimentary. Your illumination was not delivered to you. It was extracted out of you. Every measure of mercy, insight, and lucidity you possess arrived at a price most individuals could not endure for a week. Picture this. They are respecting the produce on your tree, but they have never perceived the tempest that nearly uprooted it. They want your vigor, but not your sleepless evenings. They want your perception, but not the treacheries that honed it. They want your empathy, but not the agony of being disregarded, ignored, and questioned until you almost forfeited yourself. They see the refined gem, but they do not want the pulverizing stress that created it. You are not gifted your radiance. You suffered for it. And here is the reality they will never confess. They do not actually want to traverse your route. They want the outcomes, not the polishing. They want the insight without the injuries, the diadem without the burden. But you were constructed in blaze, forged in seclusion, examined by tempests that left no ovation. You did not just endure, You continued ascending over and over until your marks became your vigor. So when they resent you, prompt to yourself they are only viewing the prominent moments. They do not see the muted conflicts. They do not see the instances you were interred under despair. They do not see the innumerable occasions you had to reconstruct yourself from nothing. Every radiant component of you was reclaimed from agony. Your radiance is not enchantment. It is proficiency, and proficiency always arrives with a price. That is why they had better be cautious. Because while they imagine about duplicating your radiance, they are oblivious to the blaze that created it. You did not just arrive here. You were reborn, and every phase of that rebirth resides in your company, prompting them that resentment without endurance is valueless. Number 12. They requested a boon and stumbled the response. They implored for reality, but when it appeared in form and structure, they were not robust enough to maintain it. Chosen, some individuals implored for something genuine. They pleaded for devotion, for affection that did not betray, for harmony in the midst of their disorder. When the cosmos responded, it dispatched you. Not resonant, not ostentatious, not enveloped in artificial perfection, just pure, steady, deliberate. The very element their essence was famished for entered their existence, and still they mismanaged it. Because here is the reality. They did not want sacred. They wanted ease. They did not want duty. They wanted relief. And when you arrived possessing what they vowed they were prepared for, their arrogance revealed the deception. They questioned your affection. They projected their uncertainties. They attempted to govern what was dispatched to mend them. They implored with their lips, but they were not aligned in essence, and your company disclosed the disparity. You were not dispatched to be venerated. You were dispatched to uplift. And elevation requires duty. Picture this. Someone pleads for precipitation in a scarcity, but when the sky finally fractures open, they maledict the tempest instead of gathering the water. That is exactly how they handled you. They wanted the boon without the load, the sacred without the offering. And when they mismanaged it, the outcomes were not just sentimental. They were spiritual. Your company did not just console, it revealed. It disclosed how unprepared they were for the very element they requested. Instead of ascending with you, they adhered to malfunction. Instead of venerating you, they undermined the link. And when you departed, actuality struck like a thunderstrike. You cannot be substituted, not because you are conceited, but because you are allocated. When an allocation is misused, it leaves an emptiness no forgery can occupy. That is the sorrow they are enduring now. They assume they possess time. They assume they could engage contests, depart, and return at desire. But once the entrance closed, it secured. The cosmos does not return boons to individuals who have already demonstrated they cannot manage them. And that is why they had better be cautious, because forfeiting you was not just forfeiture. It was their responded supplication transforming into quiet. Number 13. Their consent is useless. The cosmos already imprinted you. They chuckled, questioned, and ignored you. Yet every occasion existence itself ascended to demonstrate them incorrect. Chosen one, you have attained a level where endorsement does not even register. You no longer plead to be acknowledged. You do not debate to be comprehended. And you do not perform for ovation. Why? Because the cosmos already affirmed you. Every occasion someone attempted to make you doubt yourself, actuality intervened with evidence. The correct entrance opened, the safeguard arrived. The advancement came precisely on schedule, and you did not strive for their consent. You aligned, and alignment managed the remainder. Your affirmation does not derive from their applauses. It derives from undeniable coincidences they cannot elucidate. Consider it. How many occasions did you perceive a transformation and the precise element unfolded? How many occasions did you evade catastrophe without even knowing the peril you escaped? That is not fortune. That is not happenstance. That is the design of your route disclosing itself in actual time. Meanwhile, those who questioned you, who murmured behind your rear, who ridiculed your quiet, they had to endure there and observe existence itself endorse you. Picture this. A tribunal where the multitude jeers, ridicules, and directs fingers until the arbiter strikes the gavel and decides in your favor. Who counts more, the clamor or the decision? That is you. Their views are clamor. The decision is the harmony that continues demonstrating you correct. Others pursue approvals. You pursue reality. And reality does not require spectators to be legitimate. That is why you do not advance like them. They inquire, will individuals accept me? You inquire, am I aligned with what is genuine? And the evidence continues arriving. They label it fortune, but they never witnessed the evenings you struggled with yourself. They label it simple, but they never endured the internal conflicts that shattered and reconstructed you. What they cannot tolerate is this: your outcomes do not derive from being acknowledged, they derive from being dispatched. So let them question, let them ridicule. You do not require their approval. You already possess one that never falters. And that is why they had better be cautious, because no quantity of refusal can reverse a decision already imprinted by the cosmos. Number 14, opposing you is a conflict they already forfeited. Every plan they scheme perishes before it exists because you are not standing isolated. You are standing encompassed, chosen one. There is a cause every armament directed at you fragments before it strikes. Every deception murmured, every snare established, every grasp elevated against you, it falls apart. Not because you combat unfairly, not because you plead for compassion, but because you are not just chosen. You are protected. You advance with a safeguard that visions cannot perceive, but adversaries cannot refuse. And the more they press against you, the more they uncover that unseen energies already marked the boundary. Your quiet is not frailty, it is consciousness. You already know how this concludes. Have you not observed? They attempted to enter you, but your name ascended higher. They attempted to defame you, but the reality outlasted the deceptions. They attempted to injure you, but that image never arrived. That is not happenstance, it is evidence. You are protected, observed, and supported by domains their grasps will never attain. They are striking at shadows, while you advance with the safeguard of harmony. Picture this, someone attempting to combat atom pest with a parchment cover. That is what your adversaries resemble. They scheme and plan, not comprehending they are entering a domain they cannot govern. Every action against you is documented, every phrase evaluated, every deed activating outcomes they cannot evade. By the time the outcomes strike, there are no reimbursements, no reverse option, just the price of clashing with what they should have honored. Injuring you is never innocuous. It is an obligation that always collects. That is why treachery never succeeds. That is why resentment cannot halt your ascent. Because you were not assembled by this world. You were allocated. You were not formed for ease. You were dispatched with safeguard. To mismanage you is to mismanage sacred terrain. And the perilous component they do not even comprehend. The burden of what they contacted until the repercussions engulf them entirely. So call this, you do not protect yourself like others because you do not have to. The cosmos has already decided in your favor, and that is why they had better be cautious, because opposing you is not just imprudent, it is destruction for their own route. And so, chosen one, recall this: their resentment, their schemes, their murmurs, all of it falls apart against the authority of your company. You are not common, and nothing about your route is relaxed. Every step you take is affirmation that you are invincible, irrefutable, and irreplaceable. If this communication connected with you, let it resonate more resoundingly. Like, subscribe, and leave the number 77 in the remarks to affirm your harmony. Share this with someone who needs to be prompted that being in your company is an honor, not an entitlement. The chosen ascend, and your living evidence.